Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Saris Edge 2-bike hitch rack. Saris Edge is their latest premium 2-bike hitch rack that combines a sleek design with a heavy-duty construction that can handle modern e-bikes. The Edge is a 2-tray style hitch rack with articulating arms that hold the bike securely in place without any frame contact. As far as packaging, you can see it comes in a fairly compact single box. Unlike some of the other products which come in multiple boxes, everything's really compact and placed directly in one box with a lot of cardboard protecting gear and plastic around it to prevent any scratching. The instructions are also super simple. You basically have a spine piece and then these labeled tray pieces. So each tray is 2 pieces and they go in a corresponding slot. As far as specs on the rack, you can see it's a $1,000 rack. So one of the more premium offerings, you have an 80-pound limit per bike, which is really good. So you can handle e-bikes, no frame contact, and it's a tilting design, so you can actually tilt it down if you want to access your bike bed. And they also have some cool features like the anti-wobble knob that you can see in the video here. So you just rotate this and it has a little expansion plug, and as you wiggle it back and forth, you can get rid of any wobble and then use a standard hitch lock. You also have an integrated lock, so you can securely lock your bikes using the supplied key and built-in lock. Assembly on here is really simple. You can see it's essentially 4 bolts for each piece of the tray. So it's a 2-piece tray design, and that's what's so sleek about this. You can see how the spine piece is nice and flat, and then each tray just abuts to it, and then you just simply bolt on each one with 4 bolts each. They're all individually labeled, so you can't really mess it up, and there's no assembly required on each tray. You just bolt it on. The arms, the little straps for the rear wheel, everything is already placed, so very simple and very fast to do. So about half an hour just to place everything, and still fairly lightweight, but nice durable design. It's designed for 2-inch hitches, and you can see you simply slide it on and then repeat the process for each one using the supplied bolts. So really straightforward. The rack itself weighs about 65 pounds with everything on it, and if you want to store this, you can easily remove the sides of the tray and then store the spine by itself and the trays next to it, which makes it a lot more compact and easy to put in the garage. They do supply a little Allen key, but I'd recommend something like a ratchet, like the Topeak model that we have here, which is part of their Ratchet Essentials HD. So really simple and easy to use. You just quickly tighten it on, and you can see you have a flat design, so it's not really articulated here, so pretty flat, but you have the wheel blocks on each side that allow you to adjust the placement of each bike to prevent any of the handlebars hidden from the other bike. Once you have everything bolted on, you can see you're about done. Then you want to go back and torque it down. They don't supply a torque wrench, so use your own torque wrench here and go to the recommended specs on the instruction manual just to make sure everything's secure. Then you're essentially done. So really easy to put together and sleek design. You can see a little shot here of the complete product. Nice black finish and really subtle Saris branding. And you have, again, the folding design, so it looks really sleek whether you're using it or not. Now let's take a look at the fit and finish of the rack. Here you can see with 2 bikes installed on there. We have our Tribune bike and our State bike, so pretty easy to put them on, and you can put really heavy e-bikes as well with the 80-pound limit each. You can see you have a simple strap on the rear wheel, and then the articulating arm on the front, which is also spring-loaded. You can see here the spring doesn't really spring back, especially over time. That's one of the downsides, but otherwise you just pull it back, and with a little help you can see it'll fold down. So really easy to use. You can get the bikes on and off really easily. And because you have the wheel blocks, they're offset enough that you can easily handle 2 bikes. And if you have any clearance issues, you can adjust it. So here you can see a close-up of the arm. It's supposed to just spring down. That's what it does when you first take it out of the box. But you can see here it needs a little bit of help as it's not quite as smooth. But the user interface is really nice. I like the placement of the control for releasing it. It's right on top. It's color-coded gray. So really easy to see and access. You're not really stumbling around trying to figure out how do I release it. And with this design, no frame contact, which is nice. The rear wheel, just like any rack, usually has this little strap. And they have the holder on the backside, so it's not kind of flopping around. And you can see really long strap, so it can accommodate deeper dish wheels with no problem. Once you have it off, you can see it's very simple to use. And that wheel block, you can either put on top or off. And this whole strap is on a little bit of a swivel, so you can move it back and forth. And again, you have the little slot on the back to store it, which is great. So when you don't have a bike on there, you can leave it on there. There's also an integrated lock. There's only 1 lock for both bikes, which is one downside. And using the supplied key, you can see you can extend this and extend it out if you want a little bit more distance. but you do have to use the same one for both bikes. It would have been nice if it was a separate one, but the nice thing is this whole thing stores securely on the inside, so it's very sleek. They use the hollow tubing to really secure it all in place. Once you're done unloading, you can see it's very easy to fold up. The handle is hinged at the bottom, and it's kind of confusing to lift it up. So you can see here, you really need 2 irons. It's hard to kind of lift it up just with one hand. They have added this little cover here, so you can see a little triangular section. But when you're trying to unfold it, you can see the arm design is really nice. So you just pull down, which is very intuitive. The problem is when you're going up, you really need a second hand. So it makes it a lot easier, and even with the lighter weight of this rack, it's one downside of this design. I think they didn't do enough testing with it, but you can see when you put it down, super easy, and then you have the folding design. So you can actually tilt this downward and access your hatch or your truck bed, which is always a nice feature. Very durable design too, so you can see that spine is nice and big. And you have a very premium black finish with just gray accents at the touch points and the logos. So you can see if you want to load your bike now, very easy to unfold. That handle, again, works well when you're unfolding, but a little bit confusing otherwise. You can undo the straps really easily. Just take it off the little loop on the backside and then fold it. It's super long strap too, so you want to just push it out of the place. Then when you want to put a bike on, what I really like is that front wheel is really inset down, so you have more contact points. So you can see how it sits in that little hollow area. Very easy to pull the arm and then push it back. You just want to get it to a place where it's not going to slide off, so you get it around that 45-degree angle. And it can also accommodate fenders as the position is a little bit lower. You have the wheel block, so you can see here I put on under, but you can also slide it back and just rest it against it. You push down the front and you can see, even as one person, very easy to secure it. Once you get the front one on, it's nice and stable because the front wheel is actually inset, and then the back strap can be secured on. Plenty of room to put the second bike as it's rotated around, and again you have the wheel block, so here you can lift it up or down depending on how you want to set it up. So if we get our other bike, you can see we can just lift it on, and again with the inset front, it's nice and secure. You have deep V on the rear channel that helps hold the rear wheel, and very easy to open the articulating arms. It would have been nice though, again, if the spring action was a little bit better on the spring arm. They're really supposed to just cinch down, but with this one you just push down or give a little help. And again, repeat the process on the rear. So very user-friendly. There are some touch points that could have been improved, again, like the handle and the springiness of the front arms, as well as the lock. It would have been nice to see 2 locks, but you can see with this design, it's a nice premium finish, very easy to use, and they've really simplified it compared to the MHS, which is a lot more configurability options. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the Saris Edge hitch rack. What we like about it is you have a modern design, so with the 2-piece trays, you have a nice flat center spine that gives it a really premium look. I also like the fact that you have the inset front wheel tray. So unlike most trays, which are just a simple V, this one's actually an O shape. So the wheel sits down and balances the bike really easily. So even as one person, you can easily put a bike on or take it off without it falling over. You also have the high weight limit of 80 pounds per bike, so you can easily stack heavier e-bikes on here. The main negatives with this rack is the fact that you have a single cable lock. It would have been nice to see a 2-lock design so you can lock them individually. With this one, if you want to remove one bike, you have to unlock both. Also, the springs in the arm lose strength with time, so they're really supposed to just slide back in. But after a few weeks outside, they seem to be less springy. You have to get a little help and push down on it. So it would have been nice if it was a little bit stronger. Also, the hinged handle, probably one of the most annoying points on this rack. It makes it really easy to unfold the rack as you just pull toward you. But if you want to lift it up, when you want to fold it upward, it takes 2 hands, so it's a little bit awkward. It would have been nice if they just stuck with a standard handle design instead. Taking everything into account, we're to give the Edge bike rack an 8.7 out of 10. It's a sleek hitch rack, but it has a couple minor issues with the user experience. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.